What is a game? The dictionary will tell you, a game is a construct that organizes play through a series of rules for the purpose of achieving a set of goals, overcoming an obstacle, and or attaining an objective. That's a decent definition. I would call games entertainment, but they are a very specific kind of entertainment. Game designer Chris Crawford came up with a really cool hierarchy to explain this. To start, Crawford characterizes any kind of interactive entertainment as a plaything. Anything that you interact with to entertain yourself qualifies. But there are also two types of playthings. A plaything without a goal, like a slinky, is a toy. But when there's a goal involved, like trying to get the slinky down the stairs, Crawford calls that a challenge. Now, if you're working to complete this challenge with no other active agent or person involved, it turns out you're working on a puzzle. But when there is some kind of second party involved, then you have a conflict. Okay, we're almost there. Crawford subdivides conflicts into competitions and games. In a competition, the participants don't interact or interfere with each other. A good example of a competition is figure skating. Everybody's skating to win, but they can't really affect each other's performances. Mario Kart though, now that's a game. Players interact continuously, blocking and passing. And here's an interesting thing to think about. You don't have to be playing against a person for something to be a game. Those soldiers blocking your path in Metal Gear are artificial intelligence or AI agents trying to stop you from accomplishing your goal. The rules of solitaire can be constructed as an agent working to stop you from completing the game. So games have goals, like scoring points or saving the princess, and we achieve those goals by following the rules, like moving our game piece 6 places if we roll a 6 on the die, or ending our turn when we've spent all of our mana. Of course, none of this matters unless you want to play. Voluntary participation is essential. Otherwise, it's work. Games also make their way into daily life through gamification. This grows out of achievement systems some video games use to reward players in addition to the normal game objectives. These systems have proven to be very motivational, so why not try them out in real life? Purdue is doing this. Some schools reward students with badges when they pass tests or complete homework assignments. Gamification is also used in fitness. For example, some fitness apps award badges for walking around and even let users compete with friends for the highest step count. Massively multiplayer game worlds can provide insights across disciplines. Sociologists can study how people form groups. Economists can finally see if their models work. And in 2005, World of Warcraft became a legitimate subject of study for epidemiologists. When players attacked Hakar, he cast a spell called Corrupted Blood, which would drain the player's hit points. The spell was intended to be contagious, but it was only supposed to spread in that part of the game. Well, it turns out, Corrupted Blood was kind of like a real-world pathogen. It got out of the intended area and spread through the entire game world. This is where science got interested. The journal Epidemiology compared corrupted blood to real-life SARS and avian influenza outbreaks. Terrorism experts also studied the event. They looked at the decision by some gamers to intentionally infect other players, and this provided some insight into how terrorist cells form in the real world. Academic studies also seem to validate time spent gaming. Studies from China and Australia indicate that expert-level video game players have a measurable increase in cognitive functions, perception, and motor control. These players were found to have increased gray matter and increased connectivity in their brains. A hospital in Florida studied their surgeons who play video games before performing surgery and found that surgeons who played video games for more than 3 hours in a week made 37% fewer errors and were 27% faster during surgery over those surgeons who did not. Gaming also has cool applications in medicine. An Oxford University study indicated that playing Tetris can reduce the after effects of psychological trauma and might offer relief of PTSD symptoms. There's this virtual reality game called Snow World. It's played on the Oculus Rift and it's used for pain management. Burn victims report less pain during bandage removal and reapplication while playing this game. Another example is the online game Folded. In this game, thousands of players help doctors and computers fold proteins and other structures to support drug research. In 2011, players helped scientists solve a decade-old problem in under 10 days. That's the power of games. So what we're saying here is that games can be a positive force in the world. So press start, or set up the board, or tee up the ball, or whatever. Let's play. Crash Course Games is filmed in the Chad and Stacy Emickholt studio in Indianapolis, Indiana, and is made with the help of all these nice people.